Alright guys, here we are for a movie review for the movie Dude Bro Party Massacre 3. Don't feel like you've been left out. There is no 1 and 2.
I'm so happy. I had never heard about this before. I saw the title. This was like late at night. I'm like, should I watch this tonight? Should I watch this tomorrow? What do I do? It's earlier in the week, right? I was like, it's getting late. Let me just hit play. And if it seems like it's the thing I think it is, I'll just turn it off and then I'll come back and I'll like power through it later. I don't know what's gonna happen here, right? I turned it on. I loved everything about it. It's amazing. I had so much fun. This is like I want to say like perfect in certain ways, and I'm glad that it exists. And if you disagree, you'll break my heart. What did you think?
So this is the 5-second films, guys. This reminds me of like a Chris Seaver-esque project.
Also a bunch of Rocket Jump and Video Game High School.
Yeah, there was Freddie Wong, not Freddie Wong, his brother Jimmy Wong was in this. Yeah, a couple people you've seen from this and that. No, but it was like some parts were so funny in this movie. So the premise of the film, or I should say, just going into it, I had never seen it before. You had never seen it before.
How did you hear about this?
I came across this as a. I was in one of my like DVD forum talking things, and somebody had mentioned it, and like how it was like a rare gem or something. And then like I was like, I would like to see this movie because like they compared like it to another movie that I liked, and I can't remember what the comparison was.
I was gonna say, what's the comparison?
But I tracked it down, and like there was an old website that like was barely functioning for this movie's release.
Oh no!
And I picked it up from them, and like I ordered it, and like felt like 2 weeks later, I got a message saying it is shipped, and I was like, this is just like some dude like taking care of this website.
Oh man! Okay.
So it came in the mail, and
oh, 2015. Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little more recent than that, and that we were catching it on the like, oh man, this is great.
No, it is not like older, but it's not a brand spanking new.
That's old enough where if I haven't heard about it elsewhere, I feel like, oh no, it didn't like hit the way
I bought it honestly because I was like, I think this will be one of those ones that I won't be able to find again.
No, this is
after a little while.
This is a thing.
But I think this will probably make its rounds into the Amazon Prime worlds.
I would hope, based on some of the shit that's already on there. It's awful. Yeah. Something like this can be on there.
Yes. So just had never seen it, had really little to know about it, but I was like, I would like to get this movie, and I bought it. And then we watched it for this review. But so the premise of the movie is it's like a spoof on the genre of horror movies.
I would describe it as the Kung Fury of the summer, like Revenge of the Nerds, like summer bro, whatever movie plus horror aspect.
Yeah,
right,
I think that's accurate.
Yeah.
It also like spoofs the franchises of these things in that it starts in the third volume. It runs through what happens in volume 1 and 2 real quick as the movie opens, and it's so many like plots coming together.
We can't even really just like give you like a quick plot synopsis of this because it's so dense with like
easiest,
stuff.
Like simplest way I could break it down would just be like there is a killer woman called Motherface, and she is trying to kill a bunch of bros.
Yeah, and they go to a cabin for whatever reason. The plot contrives for them to go there, and they're getting picked off. But like, it's so dense with content and jokes and references and things.
It's a million skits just kind of shoved together to make this funny system. Andrew WK makes an appearance.
Relax, bros. It's me.
Yeah. Okay. I wrote down the cameos.
The best, and like in that I laughed at it, and I was like, "What?" Larry King's cameo.
Larry King gets impaled. He's like,
nice throw.
He's like Coach whatever for 2 seconds. So the way this is structured, there's an intro that says this was banned by President Reagan, and the only reason we have it is because some teenager taped it on his VCR.
Yeah.
So there's like little fake commercials in it.
Siskel and Ebert say Pizza Goblins is family magic. 2 thumbs way down.
It is presented in glorious 4:3 full screen, broadcast aspect ratio. The bottom of the screen half the time has a little like VHS like bend thing. Like it's perfect. I can't even. I'm a huge fan.
It's a very good shot. Like, and some of these jokes really landed. Like, of course, in any comedy, you're gonna throw out like 10 and only like maybe 6 stick.
Yeah.
But the ones that stick, oh, they're delicious.
No, and like so
there's some like Mighty Boosh quality stuff in there.
But Larry King, Patton Oswalt, Andrew WK, and Nina Hartley, who's a porn star.
I was gonna say I don't know who that is.
She was the dean of whatever. I had to look that up.
Oh, the old lady?
But I'm like, you're someone. Yeah, the older older woman with all the makeup, the Goldie Hawn with a lisp, actress. That was like. you've done this for the last time. No, like, so I guess, you know, without running down because we are, so did you like this movie?
Oh, yeah.
Would you recommend this movie?
I would. I'd certainly recommend it.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll be an easy one to find, but
I was going to say.
I have my fingers crossed that it will become into the public eye easily.
I don't know how we can help
it
that.
may already be there. I didn't really do a lot of Googling on it. I just, I'm a person who likes to own the DVD.
Is very
and I
upsetting,
don't, going forward in DVD life, there's not a ton being made. So if you don't get certain things in that early shot, the prices, they skyrocket so high.
Yeah, like a
so
smaller
like I
thing or
have
whatever.
for a couple of movies recently, like paid sticker price just to make sure that I got a copy of something.
Totally. And something's like quote unquote smaller like this, that's not just going to be flooded out
Yeah, it may
there.
only press a couple thousand.
I'm like concerned because this is like, I totally agree that, you know, this is amazing, this is worth watching, and it's better than it like whatever you're thinking it might be. I think it's like better than that. It has this awareness of the genres that it's spoofing, and of comedy, and of like timing that I thought was like really impressive and all that stuff. If you just go watch the movie, I guess, because it's amazing. I can't even
a lot of, and like some
stuff.
jokes they harp on a little bit, and like I might not have liked it when it started, but when it ended, I got back like the bang bus joke. Like
yeah, exactly.
He one of the characters is trying to run a library, a mobile library.
Yeah,
and he's like, because when I first read a book, it's just like bang, I got this. It's like
that's what I want to do.
I want to have kids. I want to make a bang bus,
so I can bang the kids or whatever. No, and like that sounds dumb, right? You're kind of like whatever, right? But this is like a running side plot. There's a little road trip for two cops that happens that you didn't even need for the movie. You like that's like it's above and beyond.
The
right?
male cop. Have you watched 5-second films?
No.
He is like he is the head. I imagine he was like the director of it. I didn't actually look too hard.
I looked
into
up all that shit. So let's take a quick.
I don't know
minute.
his name either, so I couldn't even say.
His name is Brian Ferenzi.
Yeah, that sounds like him.
He's credited as the editor, and he has a bunch of Rocket Jump and Video Game High School stuff on his thing. What like made that joke that you're talking about for me is later when he's like pushing the car, she says maybe call it like the whatever thing. Is like nope, too wordy. Doesn't have the same punch as Bang Bus. We gotta bang the kids or that's something. Oh god, like it's the awareness of the joke that they're making.
Yes,
and joking about the joke they're making.
He wants to bang children's minds.
No, it's not as catchy. It's too long. It's too thought out. It's too involved.
Like in the flashback, the guy says something different. We didn't establish he has a fear of heights or whatever.
Yeah.
Like things like that where I'm like, that's so, like, I can't, I lack the words that they would have to explain.
No, it's a group of funny people being funny. Like it's a comedy troupe coming together to make this nice movie.
And there's no, like, there's no throwaway. There's no stuff where it's like, oh, they think this is really funny, but like it's totally not. And like I guess this one guy just wanted to do that. And maybe for you there was, but for me there was nothing that was like extra or forced. If you look at like the writing credits, all of the main bros are all credited as writers. But like the main guy, who's like the twin, is the screenplay creditor guy. Or whatever. So he, I think, was like, I'm gonna be the main character. I'm gonna do this, and like did this all and like put it together or something like that. But no, like without going through like a list of all of and just saying the jokes again, right? They're all so good. I can't even.
There's a lot of great setup, and then you forget about something and it comes back. Like the ones for me are the oranges and Andrew WK's character in general.
Okay.
So like. Andrew WK's character early on in a montage like climbs up onto the roof to like fix something, and then they like some guy takes the ladder and just walks away, and you never see his character again until after like the credits or whatever, and he's like they'll come back for me, la la la.
Yeah.
And like I totally forgot he was in the movie. Like, some people come and go and die. That you're like, he must have just died. I must have just forgot about it. And then when he's alive again, I'm like, oh yeah, he did climb the ladder to the roof.
It's the kind of movie where if they just forgot about a character, that would be normal and fine.
Yeah.
It has the level of like seriousness or like cohesion and like realityness that you'd be like, whatever. He like I guess Andrew WK's cameo is over, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, over the credits, and to have him be it's Andrew WK, so he has a little keyboard and he's doing a little song up on the roof. Like it's brilliant. And he's eating an orange because oranges like rained out of the sky. Like that's so like I'm not doing it justice here with my feeble language skills, but like that's so above and beyond and above and beyond again what you needed to like make this joke work. Like what's the joke? Oh, it's like one of those old movies, except we're like it's like except it's not funny by accident. It's like funny on purpose. We're just gonna make it funny, right? So many things though were so crazy and like over the top and all that stuff.
I'd love to know what the budget for the film was.
Yeah.
I think they did a great thing with what the budget they had, and I think if they would have been given like a movie's budget, they could have made one of the most ridiculous movies of all time. And I feel that way with like a lot of things where I'm not like a lot of movies in this type of genre, like this this spoofy, low budgety type of thing. Sometimes they're enhanced by the fact that they're done really shit tier. But this movie, I think could have been even crazier if it had a bigger budget.
Sure.
Like LBP stuff, I think are great because of what they are.
Right.
Like so, if you gave Teen Ape $10 million, I don't think it would be better than Teen Ape at $10,000.
Would it be worse than Teen Ape? At
It
10,000?
might be.
Yeah, exactly.
It might indeed be.
I agree.
But this movie, I think, if this would have gotten a theatrical release and $20 million budget, I think could have been one of those like, no, that's the comedy everyone laughs about forever. That's the next Airplane. That's like
No, like it only gets better. And I think because of our ages too, I don't know how many movies similar to this you watched or something like that. But some of the stuff that they would hit, like when it flashes back and he's a twin and he has to dance with himself, and then he's like all filmed all crazy because you can't do that or whatever. Like they didn't do any weird stuff. They just filmed it the way that you would have filmed it in the 80s or whatever. Like certain things like that are so like I keep using the word perfect. I don't know. Similar to that, one of the things that got me is when he's like, and to tell you the truth, I forgot who Sizzler was, but I figured I'd just play it cool and go with it. And like, because it's that character in the movie where you're like, oh yeah, that was his name or
when
something
he's
like
walking through the different shots,
I was
saying
just gonna
Sizzler.
So he's like, Sizzler, and he's like looking for him with a flashlight, but then it like keeps cutting to all the places that you've been. Like he's outside, he's next to the thing, he's in the kitchen, he's doing this, but then he shows up like in other parts of the movie where it's daytime, or like he shows up in the flashback looking for like things like that. Like it's so difficult to do that and have it work the way that it like worked here. I'm so impressed by all this, by what came together. This was such a delightful treat.
When the girlfriend who comes along and the boyfriend dies in the tent, and she's running towards them, and they just like punched her to the ground. That part had me laughing. It was a good movie. This was a solid. I would say it's a laugh a minute kind of movie where like because they're throwing out probably 10 jokes a minute. Like,
and this is not something where it's like, oh yeah, well it's like shitty, but it's funny, and they're doing a thing, so I have to weigh that and tell you beforehand, hey man, this is not like a movie. It's like a funny. Like I don't have to like I feel like if you're on board with like this thing that they're trying to do, this is perfect, and it just works like perfectly or something like that.
This is Lee's first 10 out of 10 movie.
Possibly, yes. No, like if I have to weigh something on like how well did it do the thing that's trying to do, it's a 10 out of 10. Basically, I might actually give it like an 8 or like a 9 in terms of my own like things. Like I can't think of things that would make this better. I can't think of things that like this did poorly.
No, it hit like there's a joke where the guy's like burying and hiding beers like a squirrel.
Yes.
And like a moment after he buries one, he dives for it and takes it out of the ground
and takes it out.
Like there are so many jokes and like funny bits in the movie that I definitely forget a majority of them, and I didn't take like notes and write down things.
Oh yeah. His intestines like unraveling
down the toilet
into the toilet was amazing.
That one I've seen in a couple
of
movies.
Those deaths. Oh yeah, I've never seen that before. And this is over the top, but then like I just wrote down like a few deaths or something like that when she stabs the girl who says that she's pregnant and there's like a tiny fetus on the thing or something like that. Like that's the kind
when
of
the tiny fetus comes back into him as a soul to give him power, and he comes back as like a Hulk.
Yeah. So he defeats Motherface by all the bros like joining forces. They're all Force ghosts.
They give him bro power.
They're all Jedi blue glowing ghosts that come back and join with him. And yeah, he pumps up. And in the credits, that actor's credited as Brotherface. Like things like that. Like so many jokes. So many jokes. There's jokes in the credits. There's jokes you could miss. There's jokes in the background. There's jokes everywhere. Right in the very beginning, and this I think was the moment when I was like, I'm just going to watch this whole movie now. He's like taking the tour of the frat house. And like there's jokes, and there's like there's no wheelchair ramp, and then like his one friend has like PTSD, but he's kind of a bitch, and he does like those things, and I'm like, okay, this is funny. But then he's like running up the stairs, and he goes, coming, and like all like high pitched and stuff, and he goes, I'm here, and like starts talking like himself again, and I was like, oh, that's like that's like Chris Seaver, that's like low, but this little knowing thing, this funny little thing, like why is that in there? What like that's not a big enough joke to be like, that's a joke, we have to do this joke, but it's this little.
I picture a lot of that just being done like on the moment.
Yeah, it's
I
like an
wonder how
ad-libbed
much
thing.
I
Yeah.
wonder how much is actually all like is scripted, if it's like
Yeah.
a 50-50 thing, because these are just like, you know, funny comedians that do these little videos and bits and stuff constantly. If they just were like, all right, I'm gonna do it this way, do it 6 different ways, we'll take the one that's the best. Cool.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're all such funny people. I feel like that's the real writing credit, you know, aspect.
Ernest, that's Brent Chirino. Brock's twin brother. He transferred here after Brock was killed in that brutal freak accident.
You know I've been trying to work on my temper, Sebastian.
Improvements, I think just throwing them more money would be the only thing I'd really say could
Yeah.
improve this film. I enjoyed.
Yeah, so I'll say some of the stuff felt rushed, or like they had to make do with whatever they had or something like that. Because sometimes it's intentional. Like we are homaging an old movie that wouldn't show that death, or or like wouldn't show this thing. But there's a really funny scene where like the half of the guy,
Falls.
drops into like, and then you're like, oh yeah, because like the bros during prank week like flooded a town and like killed thousands of people, and this is this lake now is where the town was, and that's the town, and it like breaks open the corpses or whatever. And that, I don't know if they were trying to make it look fake like that, or if that was just
That struck me as how
thing
it
or
would have
whatever.
looked in a movie from the 70s. I was like, yeah, that's fine.
Well, that's what I mean. Like certain stuff, I think with more money they would have made something look worse better.
But I think if you would have taken a crazy amount of money and made this look like a pristine movie from 2018 with all those things, I think it could have been a theatrical release movie that would have been crazy. Like,
oh really?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
okay,
think
okay.
I
thought
think
you were going in the
could've-
opposite direction, where like the charm of it was its presentation.
No. Well, no. There definitely. I think there's two reasons. So like definitely you're aping off of like all the old movies and stuff, and you're filming it in that quality for two reasons. A, because it hides your sins, it's cheaper, but it also sells the joke a little bit. Yeah. But I think if you wanted to make a movie that competed with the scary movies of today, you could have filmed it in that way, and you could have done that. Like I think this could have been a nice little resurgence of that style in a better way.
Had you treated this more like Wet Hot American Summer than Kung Fury?
Yeah,
totally. No, that also would have worked 100%.
I think that would have been like, I've been like, oh, I would like to see what that does, but like, I want to see them make more things. I would like to see Dude Bro Party Massacre 4.
Well, so that's why it being 2015 now sinks my heart. It makes me go, oh no, because I would have thought that this would have been the launch. This is like the Super Troopers for this group, where they go, wow, everyone knows about you now, and when's your next movie coming out? But it's been years, and I haven't heard anything.
They've done a lot of things. I don't know.
They're
how
busy
many
guys, right?
Stuff.
They do stuff. I'm not like saying that but I would have thought that this would have been like, wow, because like Kung Fury even is a hard sell. Certain spoofs and certain things.
I don't think it is a hard sell anymore. I think that the world is so in quotes nerdy now, or want to be nerdy, or like hipsterish, that there is no boundary. I think that there are more people, because there's a reason why Marvel movies are the most successful movies in the world, and it's not because like the niche community really supports them. It's because the world is that community now, and like now hipsters are like, no, I like things that are popular, like is different.
And we've seen some like pretenders coming out for Kung Fury, so it's probably like the right time, maybe. I just mean like there was a time when like Airplane, like you said, or, like Hot Shots, like spoofs were a little more mainstream. Then they kind of went the way of the Scary Movie 6, where it's like this shouldn't exist. This is bad.
It died.
13-year-olds like this, right?
Scary Movie brought it back, and then it died again. and I think this could have been a resurgence, if it would have been a bigger marketed thing. But I understand they didn't have the ability to do that at the time. But my final thoughts is this is a great movie, especially if you have something you want to watch in a group.
Yeah.
This is like the definition of like a fun movie for a pile of dudes just to watch and be like, what the fuck is that? And like everyone's laughing at something.
No, and if you're into this sort of thing, like especially if anything we've said sounds good, totally go see it.
And I do not eat farts.
And I guess that's the bottom line: is this was basically perfect, but I'm giving it a 9 because I want to leave room for future 10s, and I hope that this team does like more stuff. So I'm sad that it's been several years and I haven't heard about any more stuff.
All right, guys. So obviously this is a thumbs up movie for both of us. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com, pick up some merch.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.